Well, here we are in what I call the Sojourner Room. What you're looking at there is a long harvest table. When we have family gatherings in here, we put all the food on that. We're coming up on Father's Day here pretty soon, and we're going to have a gathering in here. And that table will be covered with food. Betty's already started making lasagna. We're going to have two of her patented big lasagnas and some other stuff. Kind of going around the room looking at things because here in a little bit I'm going to make a video, and during that video I'm going to sell you some of this stuff, or I'm going to put a price on it and you could decide whether you want to buy it or not. There's Shotgun Pete. You've met him before in another video. There are a lot of things going on there. He's got one of those double-barreled cork guns sitting across his lap. He's wearing a U.S. Marshals badge and a 2000 Yankees World Champion cap. And he's sitting next to my little brass thumbs up with the subscribe painted in it. It's got that's made out of an old hand-hewn floor joist from under a building that was built in 1869. There's a brooder lamp. There's an old box underneath there, and that's a chicken incubator that Hard Times Chronicles sign's sitting on. Okay, here we are back. Usually I edit out this part where I walk from over there where I turn the camera on over here to where I sit down, but because I put this other stuff at the beginning of this video, told you I was going to sell some of it, I wanted to keep that fresh in your mind, and so it's sitting back here behind me. First thing I want to do today is talk about friends. And I've talked about friends in other videos. I made one where I talked about my aunt's friends that were also my friends, and then in a couple of those politically oriented videos that I made recently, I talked about friends again. And I feel like I need to go into that just a little bit more than I have, because friends means different things to different people. You know, some people, they talk about somebody as if they're their friend, when really it's someone maybe that they just met and they're acquaintances, friendly acquaintances. And I probably do that myself. Just a few videos ago, I made a video about vanity that I built for some people that I just met, and I refer to those people as my friends, and they are. I would love for them to be my friends, and over time we could probably become great friends. But friendships take the kind of friends I'm talking about when I talk about my friends. It takes a while to develop that kind of a friendship, because it's not just somebody that you like and you appreciate and you enjoy being around. That's the beginning of the kind of friend I'm talking about. But it's more than that when I say friends in the way that I say it when I'm talking about faith, family, and friends, and those things being the top three priorities in my life. The friends in that description of friends are more than some other people that I would refer to as friends. And I can't give you hard set rules about that. And I couldn't even make a list probably of people that are in that category or not in that category, because it has to be a mutual thing. I might put someone in that category that would say, that's not right. He's not that good a friend of mine. I don't, think of him like that. So it's a two-way street, but it can be. I might think of a person being a friend like that wouldn't think of me as being a friend like that. But in general, it's a mutual feeling when I talk about a friend like that. Unfortunately, for me, probably the top best friends that I've had over my lifetime have passed on. They're already gone. They're dead. If I were to say, try to make a list, and this is really difficult to do because friends of this type are like family. It's hard to prioritize them. It's hard for me to say, this is my best friend, this is my third best friend, or this person's in the top 5 of my best friends. It would be hard for me to do that because I don't have, when I'm talking about friends of that magnitude, I don't have favorites more so than, this was a friend that was a better friend than this person. But a lot of my friends, I will say this, a lot of my friends, and some that would definitely make the top 10, say 5 of the top 10, or 6 of the top 10, they're already passed on. They're gone. They're dead. And then there are others. I still have some friends that would be in that group with those that are living and walking about, and they don't have to guess. They probably know who they are. They know how they feel about me. I know how I feel about them. Let me put, just use one example of the kind of friend I'm talking about. The kind of friend I'm talking about are, not only do they know the good, the bad, and the ugly about me, and accept all of it in order to be my friend. They could tell you there's things about me that they absolutely don't like, and they could tell you there's things about me that they absolutely love. And when you have a real friend and you know each other well enough to be that kind of a friend, then I think you have those things between you. But maybe one of the things I could say would be, I would put myself in harm's way for these friends. I would risk my life for their sake. And I think most of them would risk their life for my sake over something that was significant enough to be talking about in that way. So that's the kind of friend I'm talking about. Now I'm going to give you an example of another friend, and these friends can be that kind of friend, but over the years we haven't been close enough, or we've been in different places and done different things. So we aren't that kind of friend, but we are pretty good friends because we maybe shared that kind of friend. And I'm going to get around to talking more about my politics one of these days soon. And when I do that, I'm going to test some of the friendships that I have. I think. It shouldn't be a test. If people feel the same way about politics that I do, our friendship should not even be a part of that. Because a friendship is, I've already said this in other videos, a friendship is more important to me than my politics. But I've not ever been one to be politically correct about anything. And so, when I get to talking about certain things, I may aggravate you to the point you don't want to be my friend anymore. And the person I'm going to talk about next, because she is a really good example of something I said a few minutes ago that I'm going to get back to in a minute. She might be the best example I can think of. And I would call her my good friend. I wouldn't ask her to come and help me bring her truck and help me move, or I wouldn't ask her to come and help me hang wallpaper, some of that really serious stuff that will test a friendship. But I count her as a friend. I count her as somebody who cares about me enough to have, I think she would, if I were under attack from someone we didn't know, that I think she would stand up for me and say, he's my friend, don't be doing that. And she and I probably, if it weren't for Facebook, I wouldn't have any clue about where she is politically, because I don't care. I don't care where she is politically. It has nothing to do with whether she's my friend or not. But because of Facebook, and let me first say that she's pretty active on Facebook, and I am what probably the best description for me on Facebook would be, I'm a stalker. I don't participate much. I just sit back and observe what other people are doing and saying, and don't get in there and mix it up very often. So she's not like that. She's one of these people that finds something somewhere and she posts it because it agrees with her views, and she and some of her other friends who are also people I would call my friends, they do this and share their views with the world and with one another and make comments and do all that. So I know about her political views just from the fact that it's out there. She wears it on her sleeve. It's public. I think I know the motivation for some of it, but I may not, because I've not had discussions with her about it. And I don't have discussions with her about it for the reasons that I've stated previously. I know that we disagree on a lot of things. And why affect a friendship just to let her know that I disagree with her? But she is a friend of mine who shared a special friend. His name was Mike, and he's been dead a few years now. But he was one of those friends of mine who makes that elite list. I would He was as close to family as you get when you're a friend. He was one of those. And I loved him. And I miss him. This lady of whom I speak regarded him in her life as a special friend, much the same way I think of him as being my special friend. She and he had a relationship where they knew intimate things about one another. They shared things and they were involved in one another's lives to the point that they knew the good, the bad, and the ugly. But they were friends who had close feelings for one another, and I'm sure either of them would have put themselves in harm's way for the other. So, this video right here has gotten way out of hand already. I mean, I didn't intend to get where I am with it. I've almost got myself into a trap. But let's back up a little bit and let's say, giving you this perspective on friendship and the kind of friendships that I'm talking about, and putting this unknown lady, I could tell you what her name is. I could just tell you any part of her name, and lots of our friends would know who I'm talking about. And some of them already do. They already know who I'm talking about, and I think if she were to be watching this video, she would know I was talking about her. But her and some of her closest girlfriends, and I call these girls, that these people are all classmates of mine. I've known them since, some of them since grade school, and for sure all of them since junior high school. We were friends, and I count them among my friends. I wouldn't ask them to go out of their way to do me any great favor, but if I did, I wouldn't be surprised if they did it, no matter what it was. I care about them. I pay attention to what's going on in their lives, and I want all the best for them. Our politics are diametrically opposed, so we kind of avoid those kind of discussions. I would be happy to have a discussion with any of them about anything, but I don't want to get involved in something that's not going to do anything for anybody's good, but maybe separate us some way, because I like it that we're not separated by those things. Having said all that, I'm going to promise you that soon in a video I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on some of the things that I believe in and why I believe in them, but not today. I'm going to continue on today with what I promised you at the start of the video. I'm going to offer some things for sale, and I think I'll just turn around here and grab something. Let's grab a couple of things here. Can you see that? This is a tin. It's got some writing on it, which I can't read. Even if I had my glasses on, I probably couldn't read it. It's too bad a shape. It's got a lid on it. Yeah, it's loose enough it'll come off. It screws on. Just a little red rusty tin that I kind of like. Whether it has any real value or not, I don't know. It's just the kind of crusty little thing that I like. And it's sitting here. It was sitting over there on a shelf. Been here for probably a long time. And it's for sale. It's got a tag on it even. It's been in my booth down at the Antique Mall because it's got my booth numbers on it. But it says red tin, $8. So there it was. The retail price on it, $8. If that's something that you'd like, then you're going to have to figure out how to get a hold of me through the comments or whatever. You can buy this tin for $8. Just gives you an idea. Here's something else. It's a little moccasin. You know, it's I'm sure there, unless it was made for a one-footed person, I'm sure there used to be two of them. I don't have two of them. I only got one. I don't know what it's good for. Probably nothing. It's something maybe I should have just pitched when I came across it. But when I came across it, I just kind of liked it, so I set it on a shelf over there. And if you liked it as well as I did, you could own it for $3. Set that down. We talked about Shotgun Pete, and there's a lot of things going on there, so I'm not gonna get into Shotgun Pete, put a price on him, but if he would be something you would be interested in, we could talk about it. Let's look at this. This is something that I made just to use in my video. Let's see if I can set it right there. Yeah, you can see that. This is barnwood on the sides. Nothing significant about where it came from. I think it came from a chicken house that I tore down just to get the wood, but I'm not certain of that. I got a lot of wood like that around here that I use for things. This is a little brass thumbs up. I don't know what it came from. It's got a place in it. You can put a screw in it and put it on something. I didn't screw it into this, but I just, because of the like-dislike thing, it uses a thumbs up or a thumbs down in the videos. And by the way, before you leave, subscribe to my video. Give it a thumbs up if you can. And you can, all you have to do is click on the thumb. And you don't even have to like the video. You can fib a little bit and say you liked something in it. But this is a thumb, and the reason I have it was years ago I used to race motorcycles. And I rode a motorcycle called a Bull Taco. And one of the things that was part of the Bull Taco advertising and brand feature was an emblem of a thumbs up. Bull Taco riders gave their fans a thumbs up when they would win a race or whatever. And so when I come across that, I kept it. Nobody knows what a Bull Taco is anymore, so that doesn't matter anymore, but that's why I kept it to start with, and I've had it for a long time. I put it up with this thing that I made to try to get people to subscribe to my videos, just have it sitting around in my video. And if you wanted something like that, you could buy it. This piece of wood right here with the cutout portion in it that the little thumb's sitting in, that's something that's been cut out of a hand-hewn beam, because that beam was originally a floor joist in a church that was built in 1869. That church is no longer there, and the church is there, but the building's not there anymore. And I just happened to make this out of a floor joist from that church, and I made it to use in my videos. Hadn't got me a lot of subscriptions, so I wasted my time making it maybe, but I'd sell it. So something like that, $25. If you like something like that just for having sitting around, or there's any part about it that you'd like, you could buy that for $25. Gonna set it down. What is that? Well, it looks like an oil lamp, and it is an oil lamp. It's a it's kind of a special kind of oil lamp. You don't see them very often. When you do see them, they aren't as elaborate as this one, and they aren't as nice as this one. And when I tell you what I want for this one, some of you are gonna think I'm absolutely crazy, and some of you maybe are gonna get turned off to ever trying to buy anything from me because you think I overvalue everything, and I might overvalue some things. But if I do, it's just because they are worth what I think they are, or if they're not worth what I think they are, I just like them that much. And so I would just as soon keep this as sell it for something that was less than how much I liked it. So giving you that, I'm going to tell you that if you wanted to own this, let me show you some of its features first before I totally... That pretty much nothing. It's a frosted, what do they call those? Chimneys. Chimney that goes on an oil lamp. There's the oil lamp. There's the wick. You can actually turn it. It still turns and it still adjusts the wick. This is the I don't know how you're supposed to get oil in that thing. There's a way, I guess. I just am not seeing it. But this holds the oil that you put in the lamp. That wick probably comes off and you pour it in there. It says on here, J.A. Smith Company, St. Louis, Missouri. And then on the inside of that it says Mother Nature Brooder. And so that's why I told you. See how that's embossed on there? It's kind of it's a really neat little piece, I think. I've never seen one. I've seen Brooder lamps, but I've never seen one quite like this one. I actually bought that from a lady who is the wife of another person that was a friend of mine, and he was the older brother of the special friend named Mike, who I talked about earlier in this video. His brother, Jerry, she married a lady, or he married a lady who happens to be a twin, and she liked antiques, and she had this, and she had a sale one time, and I bought it at her sale, and I just kind of like it. So if you wanted this, you would have to pay $45 for it. And I'm not sure I wouldn't be remorseful if you called me up later today and said, I liked your lamp and I'm going to buy it for $45. I'd sell it to you because I said I would, but I'm not sure I'd be happy about it. I'm just kind of on the bubble right there about that. I like it that well. With that, I'm going to end this little video. I'm Luke, the Hard Times guy. I tried to give you a little bit of a lot of different things today. I left out the pool room guys. Couldn't get them to come out today, but we'll get them back. We're all on good terms right now. We got an agreement about how that's going to work, and I want you to meet some of them. And I'm going to get into some other things like that. I'm going to give you one more heads up, and then I'm going to let this video go. I'm going to start talking about, you know, I told you in the beginning there were stories in that were family-oriented stories that needed to be told. I didn't want to lose them to future generations, and so I'm trying to get them recorded in these videos. And I'm going to expand that concept some in future videos. And I'm going to start telling you some stories that don't really have anything to do with something. Like they don't have any, the story about, I told you about this, is it came from under a church that was built in 1869. I told you that this belonged to Irene Bridwell, and she was the wife of a man who was an older brother of my friend. You know, those kind of stories. I'm going to start telling you stories that maybe are about my family, but they don't have to do with anything. Or maybe they're about a place that meant something to me, but they don't have anything to do with any antique. or any part of what you might think of the Hard Times guy is. But yet they are hard times. There is a connection with them, because Hard Times is more than just the stuff that I choose to call Hard Times originals or Hard Times furniture or stories from such things. Some of us have had hard times. In fact, all of us have had hard times, and some of these stories are about hard times that I've experienced, hard times that others have experienced, and some of them are about good times even. I'm going to start telling you some stories that are just from my past. Some of them include some of my friends. Some of them don't. Some of them could be about anything. I think there's going to be at least 3 stories. I don't know whether I'm going to do them all in the same video or I'll do them as separate stories, because they aren't related as stories. They're just related to location. That location is Chapel Hill, Indiana. And there's going to be some stories in future videos about Chapel Hill. So look for those. Luke, the Hard Times guy. Subscribe to my videos. Have a good day.